Hi, so today I'm going to be looking at Change. It's currently in alpha, and at time of recording it's on Kickstarter. Unfortunately, by the time this goes up, it is quite likely that the Kickstarter would have finished, and it doesn't look like it's going to get backed. So I guess we'll just start, and I will tell you a bit about the company and the game as we go along. So, you play a homeless man, um, and your aim is basically to survive. It's a survival game, fundamentally. We can sell newspapers. Let's apply for the job. These kind of notice boards, I believe, are just because it's a randomly generated city. I'm guessing like all the current vacancy boards link together, so that you don't have to run from one to the other. You can stay in hostels at night, but I don't think we want to go there just yet because it's still quite early. Fully hygiene for 2 days. I have nowhere near enough money for that. At the moment, I don't have enough to eat, let alone buy deodorant. So, the developer of this game is Delve Interactive, who are a UK London-based developer, I believe. In the past, they made a game that got some awards called Poncho. I haven't played that one, but I hope to at some point, because they claim to always make very unique games, and if this is anything to go by, I would tend to agree with them. There's a hotel. 2 hotels back to back. So, as I said, the city is randomly generated. There should be some random events that can take place. I believe they're mostly at night, though. So it's basically about crafting your own story and trying to make your way in a fairly harsh and unforgiving world. Hooray! Thank you. We're getting quite hungry. I cannot afford a sandwich. Why is a sandwich more than deodorant? That seems crazy. Oh. Okay. We've almost got enough to buy a sandwich. We have enough for a sandwich, and we found a hostel. Oh no, it's gone curfew! Oh. So we're just gonna have to sleep on the street. Another day is over. It's a cold night. The chill of the wind sinks into your bones, and you can feel the cold ground slapping at your body. In the morning, you feel tired and miserable. I guess it's a game that's thought-provoking and makes you think about how you treat other people. And so far, I have to say, the whole thing is rather upsetting. yes please. Thank you. Oh, I can see if I got the job. Your application was... Oops. Ah, I'm guessing it was declined. I'll apply again. Because I'm running low on money and I don't have enough to buy a sandwich. Right. Let's just plough forward and see if we can find a hostel. The controls are all clicking at the moment. I don't see why they would change this, because it works pretty well. No. Okay, I missed curfew again. Another day is over. As you start to settle down for the night, you see a dog nearby. It notices your gaze and turns to stare at you with wild eyes. It looks like a stray. Maybe you can try petting it. Yes. The dog doesn't move as you get closer. It just stares anxiously. Reaching out with your hand, you realise it's shaking as the dog takes a single step forwards. It reaches with its nose to inspect your hand for a moment, then instantly calms down and starts wagging its tail. You've made a friend. I have seen screenshots online with you and the dog, so that is a thing that I assume you'll be able to take him around the streets with you. Whether that's already in the game and it's just not working because my animation's a bit broken, or it hasn't been implemented yet, I couldn't say, but I will find out. Right, I've got to feed myself. I'm sorry. It's another horrible day. So, there's going to be lots of weather. It's not just going to be rain. There's going to be snow, storms, random events. So, they've got lots of plans of things they'd like to add to this game. And they want to release it the end of August this year, but they're saying that that's unlikely if their Kickstarter fails, so it looks like it's going to get delayed somewhat, unfortunately. I couldn't imagine just saying you stink to someone on the street that you've never met before. It just doesn't comprehend. See, I wouldn't say that, but I do use cards for everything. I rarely, if ever, have cash on me. So I think there's a lot planned for this game, so it would be really nice if they could get it done within the time frame that they're looking at, although, as I said, it looks like the Kickstarter isn't going to meet its goals, so we may have to wait a couple of years. And to be honest, at this moment, it's certainly a kind of experience. I think you play 3 days in total for the demo, and they're all pretty similar. I've just missed it. Would be great shelter. Another day is over. You can rest peacefully. You dream of your bed at your old home, and somehow it makes you feel more comfortable. So far I really like the look of the game. It goes along with the kind of feel that they're trying to create here, as far as I can tell. And it works. I mean, throughout my short playtime on here, I've kind of had this pit in my stomach, essentially. Another day is over. If there's one thing you can be thankful for, it's a warm night. The air itself feels like the warm blankets of your old bed and brings dreams of blissful nostalgia. Those texts over the kind of night are wonderful. They're well crafted. They get across the kind of message very nicely. It's certainly a unique take on a kind of survival game. And it's very interesting because it's something that a lot of us won't experience, and ideally no one would ever have to experience, just to force my liberal politics upon you there. But I don't think that's a unnecessary... Ooh, successful! Kind of necessary dream, is it? Right. May have been a bit overzealous with my buying. So we've made it through another day. Oh, better day than usual. I mean, it didn't feel like a better day to me, but okay. So just to kind of summarise my final thoughts over some of the footage I captured, I think the game's a wonderful experience at the moment. It really makes you think and wonder what it could be like. And I think that it could become, or will become, I hope, a wonderful experience when the kind of starting and ending goals are in place. The one thing that I found was the 3 days you get to play in the demo are very difficult. Both from a kind of emotional point of view. You've got this wonderful melancholy soundtrack playing in the background constantly. I assume there were going to be other soundtracks to enhance the experience that will kind of change with the seasons, or as your character feels like the day's going better because, you know, you've been able to eat today, or you've been able to drink today, or worse, when you've had a very unsuccessful day. And as long as the developers, and I don't think they're going to do this, don't shy away from kind of making the start difficult, as harsh as it is at the moment, I think you'll really get a sense, not of what it's like, because you can't know what that sort of thing would be like, really, unless you've experienced it. And even if you kind of, even if I went out tonight and slept on the street for a couple of nights, it wouldn't you know, I'd still have somewhere to come home to, and I can't imagine how difficult it must be to not have that. And I think the game does a good job at making you think about that, even if it can't fully convey the kind of misfortunes behind this. As I say, by the time you're watching this, it's most likely the Kickstarter would have ended, but if you do like the look of it, go to their website. I'll put it in the description below or in the article if you're reading this on Early Access Gaming, and let them know that you're interested. Even if you're unable to support them financially, I'm sure just the notion that there are still people looking at this game with interest will encourage them to keep going and develop it, even if they don't have quite as much financial backing as they would have liked. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Head over to Early Access Gaming for other great articles. And to read my article about this, if you haven't done so already. I dare say that I will repeat a lot of the things you've heard in the video, but I hope to have a little more insight, because I will ponder upon it before writing the article. So thanks a lot, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon. Au revoir.